I have absolutely no experience developing apps, and yet somehow I've managed to build one that I'm now using every single day. And the best part is, it all started with one single prompt. Meet Atelier. Atelier Tasks is a really simple task-based app designed for freelancers and creatives like myself. And the best part is that the majority of what I'm about to show you actually came from that very first prompt. I've made a few tweaks since then, but genuinely the majority of this app came from that very first conversation. And this is all thanks to Lovable. Let's create a quick account and I'll show you what it's built. So I've gone ahead and created a test login and let's do this. So here we are in a blank canvas. So this is what I wanted to create. I wanted to create a tasks app that made life easier for freelancers like me. So not getting too cluttered, a nice focus view to look at the task you're working on at any one particular time, a place to manage your meetings, and I wanted one part that took it a bit further from anything I've used before. And for this particular app, that was insights. I wanted to be able to associate a value, a client, and a project to every task that I did, including as well some time tracking and duration-based metrics. This has resulted in a task-based app that gives me basically business advice. It looks at what tasks I'm completing day in, day out, and it actually works out what clients of mine I'm actually spending the most amount of time on for perhaps the least return, or what business decisions that I could make that could help me increase my income. And this is all from my to-do app. So I'll show you what it can do. If we go to the task page, we can very simply add a task. Each task can be associated with a client, a project, a specific due date, and then important for the insights section, a value. So let's say that we are going to create a new website for Lily's flower company. That then creates a brand new client, and this can be website launch. That's now associated this task with a client and a project. We can give that a due date. Let's go for the 10th, and they've paid, let's say, 1200. We click add task, and there we have it. Nice and simple. So far, nothing out of the ordinary, a very simple task list, but I want you to picture that situation where the task list has grown. Basically, a lot of us freelancers can rack up an insane number of tasks. It can then become quite difficult to navigate what to focus on at one moment, and also to not become, when you're a procrastinator like me, easily overwhelmed. So I wanted a way to create a focused today view. And again, this is nothing crazy, nothing brand new, but very simply with a task selected or on the right-hand side, you can just click add to today. And then it comes to this nice tidy today view that gives a very satisfying ding when things are all done, and gives you this really rewarding all tasks completed notification. This is another thing with other freelancers like me. We really do need those dopamine hits when we succeed with completing a task and getting our day completed. These are really important reward pathways when, to be honest with you, work can become so cluttered and distracting. The next thing that mattered to me is also organizing my meetings. So I made it really easy to basically add a new meeting. So let's say kick off with the team. And you can then put in a date and time and duration. And the best part about this, if you've got a Google Meet link or a Teams link, it's actually going to give you a button at the very right moment of your day to launch that meeting in your browser. So let's say you're meeting up with the client and you've literally just opened your laptop, you've got a minute spare. That button right there in your everyday to-do list app at the right moment you need it launches that open. Honestly, it's an absolute lifesaver, and it knows when the meeting's finished based on its duration and start time. So it tucks it away in your completed, which just again makes your today view really satisfying. So I've just quickly logged back into my own account, and just glancing over the insights page, you can see that we've got information about our turnaround time, average value per task, our pipeline of open tasks, and how much we've earned. We can have a look at that month by month. Now, you can also get some information here about, some insights effectively, like based on this information and the data that you provided the app, what clever decisions could you make effectively to grow your business, to earn more from the clients that you've already got? Who could it be worth reaching out to today to increase your revenue for the least amount of turnaround time? These are the decisions that make Atelier way more, at least for me, than a normal to-do list app. Now, I won't scroll much further down because these are my actual clients, but it also then ranks each client by value. It shows you the average turnaround time per client. And if you use the time tracker that's built into tasks, you'll also see which clients are taking up the most amount of time and which are taking up the least, which is really, really important with where you invest your time moving forwards and growing your business. Now, most importantly, this is not an advert for my app. If you want to give this a go, it is completely free to use, and I will put a link in the description below. But this is mainly for me to show you how amazed I am, frankly, at what's been possible with Lovable. Now, we all know that AI is becoming incredibly powerful, but to be honest with you, up until a few weeks ago, I had no idea it was this powerful. I also knew that it could create prototypes and it could create some basic applications that you could play around with, but I never knew it was powerful enough to launch and deploy an app that I'm now using every single day and that's genuinely become valuable to me. So let's take a look inside Lovable and I will show you what I did. So I'm going to open up the project and scroll right back to that very first conversation. Now that took a lot of scrolling because I have to be honest, I've got a bit addicted ever since that first prompt and, day by day built in some more and more features to the app. But also beyond that, I've also built the website side of things to help promote the app, which again is something I had no idea that you could do from within the exact same tool. So Lovable not only helped me to build the application, but it's also helped me put together a website to promote the app. So if you go to ateliertasks.com, you'll actually arrive at this, the website that kind of helps you explore all the different features. And, it's interactive, so you can use it and sort of see how you find it before trying it or buying it, that kind of thing. Which is, you can sort of see here some more of the information that the insights can provide you with. All of this is so cool. This has all been built with AI. I've got no experience with coding for applications whatsoever. I've touched on React a little bit with some websites, but nothing like this whatsoever. And the fact that I was able to launch a monetizable brand in days, if not weeks, realistically, if you get your prompt absolutely right, there's no reason it can't be within minutes, has genuinely blown my mind. So as promised, here was the very first prompt. And I warn you, it is quite lengthy, so I might sort of summarize here and there. But the long and short is to build an organizational app for freelance creatives that allows them to. And then what I've done is broken it down effectively into each section. So we've got a task management section here. So add tasks and specify a client, project, and due date to each task they add, as well as optionally adding a value. Tasks can be opened to allow the user to add rich text notes like texts, image, and voice notes. View meta information like the client and the project. And then from there, I also asked it to create a focused today view, which should be a focus view with reorderable items a user selects to focus or work on today. Adding tasks to today and reordering them should be super easy and intuitive to do. For example, within the main task lists and with an open task, the user should feel motivated to work on this today. A lot of the reason I put this together was because I understand firsthand the kind of procrastination problem that a lot of us freelancers get and how that kind of dopamine-based reward and the ease of use is so important with making tasks feel not like clutter, but something that we can really easily work through. I suffer with that big time. So that was kind of a big reason for this app. I genuinely built it for myself. And to be honest, I'm blown away that it's actually got users. It's been crazy. So it should be nice and intuitive and clean for users to see completed tasks in any list, whether on an all task page, project, or on the today view. Second was the project section. So users should be able to add projects and view existing projects with ease from a view. And I'll keep scrolling through. I've, listed some details here. Like for example, I want a progress bar on projects, and I've gone down the same path with clients and basically saying that on clients, I'd quite like the ability for the user to add contact details so they can quickly jump from a client to a conversation. And then finally, that meeting section where you can add a meeting and also paste in a launchable Google Meet or Zoom link. And I finished the entire prompt with the entire app should feel clean, calm, and reassuring, utilizing a minimal design style that sits well with an already overwhelmed creative freelancer, basically talking about myself. Every step should make their life so much easier, and also we really need to reward them for hard success. There should be a fulfilling ding and completion animation for each task upon completion, nothing that lingers or hinders app usage for a long time, just something really satisfying. And I can't lie, it definitely has done that. So if we pop back to the app and complete a task, I was pretty happy with that. And to be honest with you, from that point forwards, I just went absolutely crazy. I explored some different font ideas. I explored the option within settings to completely customize the entire UI and have that kind of carry across from page to page and basically allow the user to make it completely their own. The ability to customize the currency and change passwords and so much more. And I've actually recently been talking with the AI to build a new feature, which I've actually seen work and has really blown my mind that it's even possible, to automatically sync Google Meet with that meeting section. So the second that you accept an invite from a potential client, that meeting will actually show up in the right place on Atelier and launch when the time is right. So yeah, really impressed with the potential of Lovable. What's more, the support team at Lovable have been epic. Any queries I've had have been answered within the next day. And they've just been really supportive of my journey in putting this together. And the fact that I've now got users, the fact that I've now got a published app that's something I'm using every single day has genuinely changed the way I'm approaching my work and made a massive, massive difference. It also makes it really easy if you're like me, inexperienced with app design, in keeping your head clear when it comes to the security side of things with a free security review on publish. So every single time you make a significant change and go ahead and publish, it's actually going to scan through your code and just make sure that it's not putting anything harmful or potentially vulnerable out there for your users. So they've actually really considered how they've built something here that is friendly enough for someone like you or I who potentially have no real experience with professional app development, to get stuck in, build something, anything you can imagine, frankly, and then, yeah, make sure that's secure, not just for yourself, but also for any potential end users that you then rack up as things go along. But yeah, as I say, feel free to go and check out ateliertask.com. I will put a link in the description below. But more importantly, go and give Lovable a go. This is genuinely a lot of fun. I don't even know where to start. You can see the size of that scroll bar. If I start slowly making my way down, the number of conversations that I've had with the AI to build some, to be honest with you, mind-blowing features. It also surprised me, we've seen a lot of AI tools now that don't quite get things right or make a few errors. It amazed me how right this got this from the very first prompt. So let your imagination run wild, go and have a go. I will put a link in the description below for you to go and give Lovable a try. This really is one of those moments where you want to say, if you can dream it, go build it. I know that's cringy, but this genuinely feels possible. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a slightly different one for me, but if you're a fellow freelancer and you want some help with staying on top of your tasks, now you know where to go. But if you're a creative mind like me and you want to try and build a brand new brand, then yeah, let your brain go crazy and yeah, let your mind run wild and go and see what you can build with Lovable. I'll be posting some more updates on how Atelier gets on as I develop it further, but also day to day I provide tutorials on how to grow your website, launch a brand, and basically take your digital business all the way through, hopefully, to success. So please do make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, and I really do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a comment, let me know what you thought, and if not, make sure you subscribe so I can see you in the next one. Thank you very much.